Okay, good morning or afternoon, whichever it is. In today's video we're going to install a modified, upgraded yLED-ac. This is a cut down version, and this one has yLED display illumination to go into a CX 502 CXX controller. The mod also will work with the MXX and as well as the LBX version. So there's a whole lot of different versions, same box or same cabinet, we should say. So basically we're going to use my yLED-ac, which has a bridge rectifier on board, a resistor and a capacitor to stabilize. We also have the illumination adjustment as well, and we have a terminal block as well. So, and all the difference is, I'll straighten it up, it's a bit bent. I've put a right angle bracket on it. This is how it will come. And this one is the prototype version. This one has four LEDs. These are 12 volt, each one's 12 volts. So I've just joined two back together. I normally cut these up. I had to join it back together again, and it's on a little right angle bracket like that. So what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how it installs and how quick it is to install into this yLED, into this CXX controller. Okay, first thing we do, we turn him around. With these, you just loosen the bottom screws on the back here, because these holes are elongated. So you just loosen them, you let it drop down, and you pull the back panel out. Quite easy. Okay, that's just looking roughly in the insides, look like inside there, and you probably can't see it, but when I'm dead around anyway. So now what you got to do, there's 4 screws in each corner, and to get to them, long screwdriver, and number 2, and just undo these. Hopefully I get this in the front of the camera, would be a good idea. Of course the screw always falls down, even though you've got magnetics on the screwdriver. So undo the bottom one. Make sure you remove it from power too, because there's a power point just down here and it's not covered or anything. I always cover them up once I get this front panel off, so always disconnect from power, because you can get electrocuted if you don't do this, because these switches are not covered. So there's another one done, and we get to the other one on this side. Straighten up again. These are quite old controllers, but I've done a couple of these now for customers, and so I decided to make a video on it. So 4 screws, just about done. This one's had a few other little mods done to it as well. They have a protruding fuse. Might as well share that while I'm here anyway. A protruding fuse that goes this way, and it's got a little cover that goes over it. Some have a little strap that goes onto here. Most fall off, and they've got the fuse is actually sitting there, and if you happen to fall, if the cover happens to fall off, and you go to grab the back of the controller, it's plugged in, not good. So basically I've put a little small M205 one in here, into one of the holes. There's 2 square holes here and the screw between. So I've put that one on this one, the little mod I've done to this one here too. So basically we turn him around, get back to what we're doing, turn him around, as you can see. I might just try and hold up this way. We have the 2 bulbs. They're just 12 volt bulbs running at about 8 volts AC. And basically what we're going to do is just do this mod. So basically what we're going to do first off is we're going to have to get the bulbs and the brackets off the meter. So basically we just undo that. Lift it up. Save the screws. I always put the screws and washers back on again, just in case lay down the track you want to use it. So put it back down there again. when you get the first one off, you can actually grab your side cutters. For some reason I didn't bring them. I should have showed you what tools to get. We need a pair of pliers, a pair of side cutters, a pair of strippers. I use a long nut setter. These are 5.5, I think it is. And you'll need a Phillips head screwdriver number 2. Number 2 Phillips head screwdriver. You probably can't see it written on here, but okay. So once you got that off, once you get that off as well, and get it right out of the road. Working on a camera. So just loosen that off with the pliers. They normally come off, once you loosen them, they come off quite easily. And of course it goes flying, as usual. Save the washer. Okay. Now, since this is AC, we don't have to mark it or anything, so we're just going to cut these off as close as possible to the socket. Like that. And there is now gone. You may have to move the wiring a bit over here. Righty-ho. So we can strip the wires. You can tin them, but for this exercise I'm just going to strip them, and basically we'll get this all wired in, because when it goes in, this actually faces down. Because we need the terminal block, the adjuster facing backwards, so basically you've got to get this wired in first before you go any further. And there's something else I didn't bring over. I'm really slack today. Jeez. Also need a jeweler's screwdriver. My bad. Really disorganised this morning. So we slide him in, we do him up, both wires in, righty-o. Whoopsies, and see how we go. I'm going to get this over a bit further so we can actually sit on doing. Wires are going to come down there. They're going to be a bit tight too, because it just undo them from that little bit of a cable tie there. Okay, so get into the what I have to do is put the original nut and washer back on again, which I forgot to do. That spaces it up a little bit. Really forgot to do that. Of course you can't see what I'm bloody doing. I should have left it as it was. So nipping up. And the nut setter, this nut setter will not be long enough to get down to get that properly. It's just not quite. Okay, so let's mount him down that way, and he will sit on there just like that. And I'm actually going to use, this is going to come with it, an extendable it's a PC board mount threaded M3. So we just stick that on there. Just makes it easy to do it up and have a nut and washer there. So just put that on there like that, and then now this will work. So you just get this all square with the side of the wires in the right position. Oopsie doopsie. Get that out of the road first. Nip it up. No need to overdo it. There we go. It's got double-sided tape on here, and so it will sit in there like that. So just make sure you get it right. It sits up hard against the support. There's a support there, that screw. It's a support. So I sit up hard against that. One thing you've got to do is you've got to clean that surface, which I probably haven't already done, but just clean the surface. I normally use a bit of Prepsol, then let it dry. Okie dokie. So just do a temporary run up. It sits up hard against the back edge, and being this there's originally was only going to use 3 LEDs, but one LED would have been smack bang in the middle of this post, so I decided to use a double run of the 12 volt LEDs. So when you think you've got it right, you just peel off the double side tape, if I can see what I'm doing. The later version, I've already got another version of this. It's got a bit of a shroud on the actual thing. I'll show you in a second. I should have showed that one, but this is being a pain. Sometimes this double-sided tape is a pain. There you go. My fingernails are not working today. Okay, so let's use it. There we go. Need a bit of persuasion. Okay. Rightio, so we just lay it back, hard up against the back, move it forward, and set it down, press it into place. Get our wiring down out of the road, and that is it. It is installed. So, as you might notice, probably can't see it that well, I'll turn him over. I've put a cover over the actual power switch, so, and it's just like double-sided tape. I've just left the backing on, and it's sort of very moldable, this double-sided tape I've got. Got to use something to there because you want to get back in here to do the adjustment, because there's your if you want to do any adjustment, you come in from the back and your adjustment is here on the little adjuster there. So yeah, so basically that is all ready to go. Now, as I was saying before, I've done another mod to this bracket. It actually has a return. I should actually grab it. What did I do with them? That's right, I'm going to grab one of those and show you what it looks like. Okay, here we go. This is the next stage, because I was actually cutting off 2 lots of material, so I said, well, why not just fold it over, and it ended up with a bit of a shroud, so you get a bit of more light directed into the lens itself. Not that's a big problem, because I've got probably 6 LEDs there. So this one has a little notch cut out here to go around that. It is actually a slightly higher, and basically it hooks underneath the edge of that bracket. So basically this is the sort of Mark II version, so this one was already done, so I'm putting this one in there, the prototype I should say, putting the prototype in here. This is a different bracket. I found some more material and I was able to cut it up. I only had to cut one side, I already had to fold there, and then all I had to do was just fold the top half over when I got the right height. So it's the same thing. It's like a Z bracket, and it just saves me having to do an extra cut, which is really good, saves time. So basically that will have a bit of shroud over it, and will just direct a bit more light into there, and it actually being slightly higher hooks underneath. You loosen this off here and you tighten it onto there, and it actually holds it more in position. So if it decides to, the double-sided tape doesn't decide to hold for some reason, it's held by the back of that bracket. Well, Butchkies, well that's that part. So basically I'll just show you that. So basically all you need to do now is just stand him up, lock him back into the casing. That's where a magnetic screwdriver does come in handy. And I've just noticed one screw is now gone walkabout. I've only got 3 there. Wait a minute, one might be inside his, not there, he's hiding, there he is, he's hiding down there. So you definitely need a magnetic screwdriver to get these back in again. So once you're lined up, find the holes. Yep, as usual. Missed it. See, if you don't make a mistake, you don't learn anything. Okay, get that back into there. We get the next one in. I was working around a camera. Oh, it is. bump the camera, I'm sorry about that. Get this cap off and probably make it just... I swear this little notch out here is for the screwdriver to go in. There's a bit of a notch there. And this means you can get the screwdriver there. You need a long one. You can see how long that is. It's about, you know, there, that's how long it is. So yeah, okay, let's get the other ones in. Working around the camera again. That one. Reaching across the camera again, not good. And top one in. Oh, it didn't go. Yes, it did. Okie dokie. We'll leave the back off for the present moment, just in case we want to adjust it. So basically, I'll plug him back in again. He's off. With all the light around here, you probably won't see it, but we'll shall give him a go anyway. So okie dokie. Oh, help if I turn the main power on. Okie dokie. Well, actually, there you go. You actually show how much it's actually brightened it up. So actually, that shadow is a good idea. I'll shadow it out, and you'll see it come on. More really even light. We can't see it. It's got very even light. And the brightness, I've already preset the brightness on this one, so there we are. That's all brightened up and all ready to go, basically. So it's all done. And as I said before, if you had an adjuster, the screwdriver adjuster, you just go straight in with a like a, what they call them, a tweaking screwdriver. Should put it over again. Like these are like trim pot adjusters. Just tweak it up. But I've already done these. They're 12 volts, and it's very touchy, but you can turn it down and you can turn it up flat out. So at the present moment I've got it about 3/4, maybe more than 3/4. So as you can see, it did brighten it up. So you can see it's in the dark there. It's quite even. Proud to show what's going to get other light shining in here as well. So yeah. So there you go. So there we go. That's, we turn him off, unplug him. I'll show you how the back goes back on again. Get the wiring out of the road. So all you need to do when you put it back together again is basically just, some of these screws normally have washers on them. So you flick the washers back, you drop it down with the washers on the back side, and then just lift him straight up, grab your screwdriver, and then just snip these back up again. So this is why I found it being a problem, if that comes off, the fuse holder comes off, and you go to grab it here, and the fuse holder's not there and it's plugged in, you're going to touch those tines and fuse for the glass fuse. That's why I like to put that one on there. So that's a mod I'll be doing. That was a quite easy mod, that one. It was just a slight filing of the square hole, only minor. What I did is I actually used a stepper drill. I just lightly drilled it out with a stepper drill. It's one section, and this fuse holder just went straight in and basically wired it up, and it was done. So yeah, much better and much safer. You know, these things were probably made a long time ago, so what they had was what they had. These M205s weren't even invented back then. Little short fuses. They only had 3 AGs. So there we go. There is one LED upgrade on a Emotator 502 CXX controller. So now we have LED in this one. It's all good, done. I shall catch you next video. Bye.